All right, back for another beer review, and today I'm reviewing yet another beer from the Big Ditch Brewing Company, and they are out of Buffalo, New York, and this is their Cinnamon Apple Amber Ale. So this is an amber ale, obviously, brewed with a whole bunch of stuff going on. We'll get to that in a second. Comes in at 6.5% alcohol by volume and 25 IBUs, and at the time of review, this beer is approximately 5 weeks old. So they have a little spiel here on the side, and I'll read it real quick. It says, apples are the state fruit of New York. In autumn, New Yorkers will visit orchards to get the first taste of the newest year's apples. We wanted to brew a beer that incorporated our state fruit to properly celebrate autumn in New York State. We use a locally pressed cider from New York State apples and a locally grown 2-row barley to create our fall seasonal. This beer also incorporates cinnamon, allspice, oatmeal, and brown sugar. The aroma immediately reminds you of autumn. Upon sipping, there is blah, 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 you know, talking about tasting notes. Savor this beer and enjoy autumn in Western New York. Please keep refrigerated, preserve freshness, which I have. So yeah, I've had this beer before, about 4 years ago. A little bit after they opened, I had it in a growler, entire 32-ounce growler of it. And it reminded me of like a hybrid of a hard cider and a winter warmer. It was quite enjoyable. I think I gave it like a 4 out of 5, but again, I haven't had it since then. They've canned it the last couple years, so I saw it at a local Wegmans. There was the mix of 6 section for $10.99, and there were like 4 or 5 beers I wanted to check out. Under $2, it was like $1.83 a can or whatever. Well worth it, so I picked this up, and I figured I'd review it, so let's give it a go. Now, a lot of people don't like flavored beer and everything. I enjoy it if it's good. Anyway, let's give it a pour, see what we get going on. Oh, baby, that's murky, daddy. A lot of murk going on. So yeah, that is this murky, definitely murky amber color. Wow, that's crazy. Baby, is this a New England style IPA? No, it's not. But it has a lot of murkiness to it, like a murky amber color. Like these nice orange, like light orange hints at the bottom of the glass, a finger to a finger and a half of a straight up tan head. Man, that actually is a beautiful looking beer, honestly. I'll let you guys see without the logo. I think that looks beautiful. It kind of looks like a unfiltered apple cider. So let's get a nose on it, flip it around. Yeah, it smells like, wow, that smells like apple cider. Oh, that's beautiful. The spices are not overwhelming on this. Definitely picking up the cinnamon and the allspice. Even a little bit of nutmeg. They said it's not in there, but you know, my mind is playing tricks on me. Big, sweeter, fresh, crisp apple note to this one. That brown sugar, there's a confectionery sugar to it. Brown sugar, demerara sugar type of vibe to it. A little bit of caramel and toffee. This honestly reminds me of, like, you know, you get the caramel dipped apples. Kind of has a vibe like that going on in the nose. Yeah, this smells really nice. It smells like it might be a bit sweet. Glad I got a 12-ounce can of it, but it does smell pretty tasty, so let's get into it. Cheers. That's it's really nice and easy to drink. First sip. The thing that you always worry when there's a lot of spices, whether it's a pumpkin beer or whether it's a winter ale or a winter warmer, they usually incorporate a lot of spices, you know, from the cinnamon and allspice and nutmeg and just all kinds of things going on. So sometimes it can be a bit too spicy. This doesn't have that issue. I definitely pick up on the apples. A lot of brown sugar, a lot of that demerara sugar, confectionery sugar, deeper, more robust sugar to it. But then you're hit with a little bit of that cinnamon and that allspice passing through the palate. It's kind of omnipresent, it's everywhere. But the apple's kind of the star of the show here. It's much like the spices kind of carries through, but it's not huge. Like I couldn't sit here. I think if I did this blind, I wouldn't necessarily be able to tell you there was, you know, they use cider in the brewing process. I would maybe be able to pick up on the apples, but not specifically cider. 6.5%, lower side of medium bodied. The mouthfeel has a ever so slight creaminess from the oatmeal that they use in this one. But still has a nice spritzy carbonation to it. You know, it's very crisp. Finish is relatively clean. Has a nice balance of the sweetness to the bittering component of this one. It doesn't finish overly sweet. I could drink a couple of these. That was the worry in the nose. I even mentioned it. I said, it could be too sweet. Not at all. It dries out very nice, a semi-dry finish on the back end. But it finishes relatively clean. Like the only thing that's kind of lingering is a little bit like a residue of like a cinnamon. And that's it. This is a nicely constructed beer. Is it anything mind-blowing or whatever, no. I am digging this one though, and it's perfect for the fall time. If you're somebody that loves fall seasonals, but you don't necessarily want a pumpkin beer, this is the one for you. So if you're in the Western New York area or in Southern Ontario and you hop across the border and you see this at Wegmans for under $2 or at Premier Gourmet or Brewed and Bottled, it's a couple dollars max, pick this one up, give it a go and see what you think. As far as rating goes, I'm not going to give it the 4 out of 5 I gave it, but it's close. I'm going to give it a 3.75. So that was Big Ditch Brewing Company's Cinnamon Apple Amber Ale. Gets a 3.75 out of 5 for me. Like I said, very well constructed and well made beer. I think it's a great fall seasonal, and like I said, if you want something that doesn't necessarily fall in the Oktoberfest beers or the pumpkin beers, this is the one that I would seek out in the Western New York area. So appreciate you guys stopping by for another review, and until the next one, cheers.